After 600 years, the strongest emperor in history reincarnates in a weak body. He doesn't remember his previous life until one day, as he's about to be deleted. He summons the strongest holy weapon, gaining his memories back and the power to become a god. Our story begins with our protagonist, Chang Tian, a typical 20-year-old college student nerd who lives with his parents, and his major is as useless as it could be. He goes to a strange bookstore at night, grabs a book on how to pick up girls, then leaves as soon as he hears weird voices, thinking the shop is haunted. After getting outside, he sees 3 delinquents beating up a girl. The leader recognizes Chang, steals his book, and starts bullying him. As if girls will ever look up to a nerd, Chang gets his book back and runs away. Chang finds the opportunity and runs away towards a park thinking he is safe. However, suddenly a mysterious field surrounds him. The leader of the delinquents, Lei, appears with his holy weapon, a dangerous-looking giant spiritual man named Ring Sword. He orders Ring Sword to attack and cut off Chang's limbs, which is carried out in an instant. Lei then orders his weapon to kill the injured Chang. Chang's last wish is to stay alive, and he randomly summons his own holy weapon, a white-haired guy who is powerful enough to save him by lifting only one finger. This legendary warrior heals Chang's wounds while protecting him. Ring Sword attacks the new spirit with his best attack, but the white guy easily neutralizes it and kills the enemy by throwing a big energy ball at him. The next day, Chang wakes up after dreaming of him about to kiss the other dude. Luckily, it was only a dream, but stuff gets real when he finds the dude sleeping naked by his side. Not sus at all. While taking a walk, the white-haired man explains that he is a spirit weapon and that he doesn't remember his name. Cleverly, Chang decides to call him White, but the dude starts flaming Chang because he has less spirit power than a baby, making him weak. White explains about the Shang Yuan Arsenal, a magical power that releases holy weapons. The Chosen Ones can summon these weapons, which are legendary warriors from ancient times. Yes, I know what you think, Chinese fate. The masters of the holy weapons are called spirit warriors, and there's a special trial to choose the strongest spirit warrior called the Tiangang trial. Whoever wins the trial will be granted unlimited wishes by the gods. Later, a purple-haired girl named Chu visits Chang's home and reveals her 2 spirit weapons Gan and Mo to him. She thinks that Chang is an amateur and demands him to sell her his weapon. However, Chang refuses to sell White to her. The next day, Chu creates a force field and orders her 2 weapons to attack them. However, White is one of the legendary weapons and treats them like toys. They are no match for him. The fight continues until they're stopped by 2 boys, this budget Sasuke named Aoshin and Nalan, who forgot to stop by the barber. They work for the organization named Tianzan Hall. Aoshin demands Chu to join their organization, but she refuses. Chang analyzes the situation and does what a nerd would do, puts what he has read into practice and flirts with Chu. The 2 newcomers summon their weapons and a battle ensues. White confronts an assassin-like holy weapon in a lightning-fast battle across the skies. But Chu decides it's time to call it a day. She calls her 2 holy weapons that are husband and wife. However, the 2 dudes feel it's too dangerous and retreat. Chang is invited by Chu to her huge mansion in order to train for the trials. She tells Chang that any spirit warrior can have 2 spirit weapons, as long as he coughs up a hefty 100,000. Also, if the spirit weapon dies in battle, so does the spirit warrior. To convince him to join her during the trials, Chu asks our boy to become her man and live with her. Boys, it's time to read some flirting books. It works. Chu then pulls a sugar mommy and finances Chang's second summon, enabling him to make his second contract with Fangshan. The next day, Chang receives a call from Chu, asking him to return to guard her mansion as Tianzan Hall is about to launch an attack. Chang returns and walks his plan through with the other occupants of the mansion. They defeat the small fries without a problem, and they chase down the remaining 2 enemies, Aoshin and Nalan. The enemies summon their weapons, and White is immediately locked in battle with one of them, while the other assassin-like weapon disappears into thin air for an ambush. Chang comes up with a strategy to force the weapon to come out of hiding by attacking Aoshin head-on. Nalan quickly orders his weapon to protect Aoshin, revealing herself, and White strikes at her. However, Aoshin weapon's powers double at night. Distracted by this, Chang is wide open for an ambush by Nalan's weapon. But Fangshan jumps in front of the blade, sacrificing herself for her master. She reveals how she had lost her master in her previous life and she won't allow the same to happen during this one. She falls while Chang is holding her in his arms, and she tears up apologizing for being too weak. She reaches with her hand to his face, telling him she wants to hear a compliment before she passes away. But Chang tears up, too shocked to process everything, and she gives her final breath. Chang loses hope until Chu arrives and helps him regain his determination, which restores White's fatigued powers. However, Aoshin uses his weapon's forbidden power to gain strength from the stars. He combines the star's energy to create a powerful beam to attack White. Chang feels helpless at that moment and, without thinking it through, uses his blood to boost White's power. White uses his technique and reflects the beam attack after absorbing it. The Tianzin clan is forced to retreat again. But on their way, White shows up out of nowhere and kills Nalin right in front of Aoshin's eyes. The murder makes Tianzin Hall's chairman Jan furious. Jan suddenly shows up on the mansion grounds and asks Chang to a one-on-one duel to avenge Nalin. Chang summons White, who shoots an arrow at Jan. Jan is powerful and blocks the attack with his sword. His movements are swift as he moves between space and time, turning back time on himself whenever he gets injured. Suddenly, a masked guy named Yi attacks Chang from behind. Anticipating this, Chang transforms, merging with his weapon Fangshan, who revives due to the will to protect her new master. Chang had figured out that Yi had been tracking him, and exposed his ill intentions by revealing that he has been plotting in the shadows, manipulating the Tianzin Hall to launch an attack against them. But Jan comes forward to say he never ordered his men to attack Chu's mansion before, and he is only attacking now because of White killing Nalin. However, White doesn't even know about Nalin's death. Jan then remembers that Yi can change his appearance. Chang gets angry at Yi and throws his spear at him, but a portal suddenly appears that protects Yi, and Liu and his weapon step out. This kid is Chu's holy weapon's son, who got reincarnated and wants to get revenge on his parents for abandoning him in their past life. He orders Liu to kill everyone and then escapes. Jan apologizes to White and gives him a shard of crystal, saying that it belongs to him. White absorbs the shard, and immediately some of his lost powers come back, along with a piece of memory. He recalls a moment spent with his previous master, who told him to save and protect people. He shakes the memory away as Taesu begins his attack on the Tianzin Hall members. The holy weapon is powerful enough to block the members' combined force without getting hurt. Chang attacks with White and Chu to annihilate Taesu, but he blocks the attacks again. Chu debuffs Taesu, allowing White to injure him with his powerful arrow. They manage to injure him and make him bleed. Fired up, Taesu unleashes all his power and absorbs everyone into his huge black hole zone, where he can absorb any attack. The deranged king absorbs Taesu as well, brute forcing a merge with him, and wreaks havoc on everyone. Chang doesn't give up and proceeds to merge with White, increasing his power exponentially. The king throws a red aura blast at Chang, but he absorbs the attack with greater courage, and releases it back at him in an epic blast. The attack hits, and the king is defeated, effectively ending his possession over Liu's body. Before the team can celebrate, Chu receives a call and tells Chang that his mother was attacked. He rushes back home to find her barely awake, and she tells him that Yi attacked her and that he also took his father. Chang's mother is taken to a hospital, but she's in a coma, which upsets his mind. White suggests going after Yi, but Chang is in no condition to realize anything and argues with White, accusing him of being a puppet without the feelings of losing a loved one. Meanwhile at night, Chu tries to provide emotional support for Chang. White appears to apologize to Chang and starts to remember more about his past. In his past life, he was the holy weapon of Tei, the emperor and god of ancient legends. In that life, they were not only master and servant, but also friends. But 10 legendary evil monsters started to attack the earth. They fought against the beasts until exhaustion. In the final battle, Tei sacrificed himself to bring peace and protect White. But as a result, White lost his memories. In a mission to save his father, Chang teams up with Chu and Tianzin Hall to find Yi. After hunting his location, they enter a big cave. Suddenly, a hologram of Yi appears, showing his father as a hostage. The villain invites Chang to follow him to get his father back. Chang soon finds Yi, who demands him to surrender White to him. But White suddenly shows up and strikes, breaking Yi's mask and revealing his face for the first time. Chang is surprised to see that Yi looks like White. Undeterred, Yi reveals to them that he and White are part of a single body called Heaven's Bell, a legendary weapon. He reveals his desire to absorb White to control the world. White refuses, saying that he is Tei's holy weapon. But Yi advances and forces him to remember a bitter memory in their past life during the time they were still a single body, when they were wrongly accused of crimes they didn't do and punished by Tei. Yi induces a strong gravity field around both and tries to force White to become one with him. The bitter memories have left White low-spirited and he is too weak to fight back. However, Chang's strong will makes him crawl and talk to White. He declares that he will never abandon him. His pure words of deep trust allow White to recover from the depths of despair. Chang instantly merges with White, and their trust and power reach a whole new level. He stops his weapon with his bare hands and then punishes him for hurting his mother. White absorbs him and upgrades to a true holy weapon state, regaining all his powers, while Chang goes off to save his father. He frees his dad, but at the sight of White, his father suddenly grabs Chang by the throat in a treacherous twist of events. Chang is saved by Chu and others, and his father opens a portal to leave. Chang thinks his dad is possessed by an evil spirit and goes home with White to investigate. They find his father's wedding ring, which has the same spiritual power that attacked Chang's mother, revealing that he was the one who had attacked his mother while at the same time working with Yi. Meanwhile, Jai, Chang's father, attacks a civilian concert to kill every human. He allows his spirit weapon, Tiefeng, to absorb the human lives, increasing its power. Chang and White detect a big spirit energy signal created by Jai and Tiefeng. Chang makes an appearance with all his companions and demands the truth from his father. Jai reveals to him that he is in fact a spirit warrior. He kept his identity hidden from his family because Chang was born without spirit powers. But as he grew up, he noticed the similarities between his son and Tei, leading him to believe that Chang is the reincarnation of the Great Emperor. Infuriated, Jai tells Chang how badly he wanted to have White as his weapon so that he could rule the world. But it was his own son who summoned him instead. He then plotted to have Tiefeng absorb Yi to steal his powers, but again, his plans were ruined by Chang. Chu attempts to fight Tiefeng after merging with her spirit weapons, but it doesn't work against Tiefeng. Chang sends White to stop Tiefeng and they trade sword attacks. However, she is more powerful than White as her power doubles if the opponent is a male. Watching White getting injured, Chang doesn't lose hope and quickly comes up with a plan to combine the powers of 4 spirit weapons to launch a special attack, powerful enough to bring down Tiefeng. But for the plan to work, they need 4 high-level weapons, but they only have 3 since Fangshan is only a lower mid-level. Tiefeng unleashes a burst of energy, knocking everyone down. And so, Chu's other 3 weapons sacrifice themselves, letting Fangshan absorb them into herself to level her up. The move only works because the weapons knew Fangshan in their past lives. She absorbs their powers and comes out transformed into a high-level weapon. The 4 spirit weapons combine their powers and launch an all-out special attack, capable of injuring Tiefeng. The blast successfully weakens her, but they don't get the chance as Jai advances and shares his blood with Tiefeng. Immediately, Tiefeng regains her strength, but it also increases. She transports everyone to the Shangyuan arsenal where no weapon can use its full power, and the masters can barely breathe. Jai merges with Tiefeng and forms a deadly humanoid weapon far more powerful than any enemy they had encountered before. Chang does the same, merging with White in a stronger version. Thanks to the deepened bond between the reincarnation of Tei and the legendary Heaven's Bell, they jump into the attack and fight Jai in a final battle of life and death. Jai evades the attacks and captures Chang in a chokehold, demanding him to hand over White, which Chang refuses to do, saying he'd rather die than give up White. Obsessed with gaining power, Jai declares that everyone who gets in his way should die. Chang catches a glimpse into his father's memories and finds out that Tiefeng corrupted his father's mind beyond saving. Jai opens the gate of the Shangyuan arsenal, and all at once the powers of all the weapons start draining into it, slowly killing them all. He unleashes a beam of energy to finish them off. Chang steps forward and his companions lend him their power. Everyone transfers their powers to Chang, entrusting him with their lives. Chang absorbs their combined powers and attains a primal powerful state, transforming into a god. He turns this power against his father, summoning a multitude of spirit weapons and letting the epic barrage loose, ending the assault with a direct hit to Jai's core, defeating him once and for all. Chang and White then close the gate of the Shangyuan arsenal, bringing peace to the world once more. Watch this next video. See you on the next one.